Good morning, traders. So we are looking at the South African top 40, the Aussie. Okay, so first things first, the data that we see on the daily candle is incorrect yet again, GT24, and that's my broker. That not really impressed with it because every second day it's the same thing, where their closing price is way lower or higher than the actual closing price. So this line here is where GT24 has the closing price pegged, where meanwhile it actually closed up here. Okay, and basically what that does is it leaves us with these daily bars that are incorrect. Anyway, so just take that into account if you're on GT24. Just put your closing level in so you know what it is. So essentially, this bar should be a spinning top, long tail to bottom, short tail to top, and close pretty much where we opened. Okay, so there is still zero direction for me at this stage, okay? And that's for any sort of medium-term, long-term swing trades. The only thing that I can see, even if you look at the 4-hour, look at this, it's up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up. There's really nothing at play here. So what I do see, and I'm going to use the closing level here, is a couple of things. I see a double top, I see a break of the alligator, and a retest of the alligator on the 4-hour. Okay, so that is my double top. So first things first is I am expecting a move to the downside, pretty much to come and test the bottom of the bigger range. So if you look, bigger level, inside tail, inside tail, inside tail, inside tail, and you can see how that level there is pretty well defined. So that to me is the current longer term setup. In other words, there's nothing there. So what we need to do is go down to the hour, and you'll see sort of on the hour pretty much a similar picture. We'll break up above the alligator, break below, break up, break down. There's no real direction, but I do believe that this setup we see here is something a little bit more interesting if you look to the left. So it's a much bigger and stronger move to the downside. We did find some support off the 1-hour 200 EMA, and we've bounced up. But what I do believe is we have broken the alligator, and we're up, coming to test this alligator. Okay, so that's kind of my view on this at the moment, and that in itself brings us a completely different second move, which would be something like, I suppose it could rally all the way up there and then come down to there, or if we turn over there, something like that. Anyway, that's the view that I have at the moment, is we are range bound, and I'm anticipating we're going to move back towards the bottom of the range, potentially break out to the downside of this range. Now, there is something else that we need to really pay attention. I pointed this out the whole of last week, and I'm going to continue pointing it out for this week. And that essentially is our closing range breakout strategy. So in other words, the last hour of trading on the Aussie. So I'm looking at the half-hour chart at the moment. So these two bars here are the last half hour of trading. Okay. So essentially, a break. So this was Thursday. This is Friday's data. So you can see we sort of ranged inside this range. And let's just get down to a very small time frame, and you'll see what I mean. So that was our last hour of trading, and you can see how we ranged inside here before eventually breaking through to the downside with this bar here, which was your trigger for your short. And what you were looking for was the height of the range, and then secondly, double height of the range, 1.161 Fibonacci extension of that range, and then double the height of that range. So if I just do this, There's the range. There's the 161. Okay. There's the 261 extension of the range. And first and foremost would have been the range height. So there's the range height there. And you can see that bar, that 5-minute candle closed right on it, but then we had this exhaustion bar to the next level, which was a 261. Okay, so your Fibonacci extensions are pretty important when you start talking about the closing range. Let's delete everything and we'll come back to the 30. Right. Okay, so what does that mean? So basically, what I'm talking about is that is our closing range. So there's a couple of things here. This could be a break of the alligator on the half hour, and we're testing it. So a break above 48.075, then obviously you're looking for a move back to the upside, and more than likely, let's just get this here, play it safe. That's my range height there. Okay, so that's the range height. If we put the Fibonacci on here, we should see that's the range height. The 261 extension is the previous highs of Friday. Well, sorry, Thursday, not Friday. This is Friday's data. Okay, so that's kind of the only trade that I can see at the moment, and it's been working pretty well for most of last week. I think it was only one day last week where it was a little bit suspect, which was here. So it's Friday, Thursday, Wednesday, Tuesday. So Monday was a bit of a topsy-turvy day. We did eventually move to the downside and basically hit our target to the downside, but we flirted with this upside that it looked like it was forming a triangle. But anyway, that's kind of my view on this at the moment. I suspect we're more than likely going to move to the downside. I'm seeing this as a retracement of this bigger move to the downside, and I want to see another move down. Okay, so those are levels to watch. So what you're looking for is a break above 48.175 or a break below 47.813, which will give you direction, and the only direction you need to look for is the height of this range. And the height of the range is probably a couple hundred points, but well, it's not too shabby. It's 200, let's call it 250 points. So you've got a potential 250 point trade on a break up or a break down. Okay, now there are other things that play here. So the first one is obviously we have a trend line break here, but I still believe we've got a bigger double top here, which has been broken. So this level here, double top, broken to downside, retesting a double top. So my bias is to the downside. And let's just get both those levels in. So that's our first level. And then get the 4-hour double top here. And extend that to there. Okay, so that's kind of what I'm looking at. I really expect we're going to break back down to the downside. So looking at this 4-hour, this is the first, well, actually the second. There was a first break, but we broke with an indecision bar. So yeah, there was nothing really concrete about that. With this, we've broken with a solid red bar, and we have rallied back up to test the break. So my bias is to the downside at the moment, and I suspect we're going to be coming to tag 47.550 and then 47.425, which is bottom of range. Bottom of range, I would say potentially an opportunity to get long again, but looking at the alligator, I think I'll just stay out of that. I may leave a short trailer in because we are below the alligator. Alligator is pointing down on the 4 hour. We've broken down, retesting. Okay. And the hour is pretty much the same. We've broken through, retesting, and the half hour is almost the same, although we had this bit of a rally into the close. Okay, US markets were very volatile on Friday, so there's nothing really to read into that. Rand dollar, 13.36, quite a bit stronger, almost 0.5% stronger than Friday. And 10 cent at the moment is down 0.5%. So, yeah, I don't think my view is going to change at the moment. I think second move down, expect a second move down to come and test the bottom of the range. Okay, so you're looking for shorts either on the break of the closing range, or if we do sort of gap down a bit, wait for a retracement to come and test the range. Watch the 5, 6, 10, 15-minute charts, and as soon as you see price action pointing to the downside again, get in for that trade. Keep a tight stop. You can probably even use this area here as a stop. So if we do get back to the top of this range, you can extend the stop to 48,172. That's 100 points. So you've got a 100-point stop loss here, that's a half decent trade on the Aussie. Okay, and then you're looking for this measured move to play out, and I really would expect one of these two levels to get tagged, and that's profit taking, guys. Don't try and hold on below that. Just take your profit, see what happens. You're more than likely to be a bit of a bounce, and if you do form another lower high, then that would be the opportunity to get back in for the short, and then you can anticipate a break of the range to the downside. Okay, so that's kind of what my bias is at the moment. I am expecting downside. This view that we can see at the moment on the weekly as well. So that's not quite the area. Let's just get that close again. Then we can go back to the weekly and have a look at that. Okay, so you can see the weekly closed with a indecision bar. It didn't close down here, it closed up here, so that's a proper spinning top. Second warning bell from a price action perspective, although I'd like to see a weekly close below the low of one of these bars. But this oscillator here is indicating diversions. See there, low, high, high, low. So there's diversions. That is continuation diversions to continue in the direction of the trend. And although this trend has been broken, my eyes, that is the new trend that is forming at the moment. Okay, so nothing really concrete in the long-term view. So I think that's why stick to the 30-minute chart to pick up your levels, and then just trade off the 5. To be honest. You can see here how we hovered inside the closing range, sort of staying below the alligator, not really breaking up above the high of the range and then breaking down. Okay, so that's what I would be watching for. I don't see any 5-minute gaps down here, which is normally the case, but there's nothing else to read into this at the moment. So yeah, that's it for me today. I hope that helps. Whatever you do, please keep those stops really tight. There's still no true direction, and anything that you're doing is really off, in my view anyway, is off the last hour of trading, and it's that range that I'm watching. Okay, break to the upside, 48,077. You're going to challenge the top of the channel or the range, and break below 47,815. You're going to be challenging the bottom of the range. Okay, and that's my view for today. I hope that helps you somewhat. Remember to stay safe, and I'll catch you tomorrow. Cheers for now.